All right, discipoli salvete, good to be with you, first form students, on lesson 13. Okay, what we have here is a unit 1 review. Units 1 and 2 review. So there's a lot of material here, but it is a review. So primarily the material in this section is stuff that you've already learned, and yet, as we know, it's easy to forget. Okay, you're going to be looking at your first conjugation verbs. That's what we've learned so far. We haven't got to second conjugation yet. And we're going to look at them in the present system and the perfect system. Okay, let's have a little bit of a refresher. When we say system, we're really talking about the principal parts. We'll take amo. Here is amo. Then we know the infinitive is amare. Okay. Amavi is the third principal part. And the fourth principal part, amatus, is over here. We haven't gotten to this principal part yet, but let's look at these two especially, okay? When we say present system, remember we're talking about this principal part right here. And there are 3 tenses that you have learned in that principal part: the present, imperfect, and the future. Present, imperfect, and the future. And the reason why these are all under the present system is because they all keep the same stem, the front part of the word that doesn't change. How do you find the stem of a present tense word? That's easy. You go to the infinitive, you take out the RE, and you have AMA. There's your stem. And that is a stem that you find in the present, imperfect, and in the future tenses. That's the stem that you are working with, and since they all share the stem, same stem, they're put in this principal part. Okay? That changes, of course, when you get over here. The third principal part, here's our perfect system. To find the stem of this verb, take off the I, and there's your stem. Discipuli, it's important that you can find the stem, because the stem, think of it as the backbone, the bedrock of the word that the ending's attached to. You got to have the right stem that goes with the right ending. Latin verbs, boy, it's all about stems and endings, stems and endings. Know the stem, know the ending, put it together, and you got the word you're looking for. In this present system, again, define the present stem. Take the RE off the infinitive. When you get to the third principal part, take the I off the third principal part, and there you have it. To get all 4 of these principal parts is not challenging. You have a number of verbs on page 37, and these verbs are all regular, making sure, correction to what I just said. Okay, there are 4, remember, that are irregular. Just 4. Do, sto, lavo, and uvo. Those are the 4 that are irregular, meaning they don't follow this pattern on the board. Most of you have those memorized, maybe all of you. The rest are regular, meaning their principal parts work out just this way. So let's take, we did amo, we can do adoro, for example, okay? Same thing for adoro. I'm going to erase these tenses. And let's do it like this. So we have adoro, present, adore. Now watch this. We'll take off the O and put A-R-E. Adorare. Okay? When we get over here, watch this. I'm going to take off the R-E and put a V-I. And then over here, watch this. Take off the V-I and put T-U-S. Dropping my pens, my chalk. That's it. You have all 4 principal parts right there. Okay. Let's do another one. Let's see. Let's do ero. Means I err or wander. Ero. To get over here, take off the O and put A-R-E. Erare. Okay. You get over here. Take off the R-E. Put a V-I. You get over here. Take off the V-I and put a T-U-S. Eratus. See how that works out? All 4 principal parts follow a pattern to these regular verbs. Remember, there are 4 that are irregular. Do, sto, lavo, and uvo. Guys, you have to know those and you have to memorize them. All right? And some of you on quizzes past have done stuff like do, dare, davi. Wrong. Do, dare, dedi, D-E-D-I, datus. It's irregular, but most of the verbs on here follow this pattern, okay? All right, remember all your endings, OST, mus, T, sunt, bom, bos, bot, bo, bis, beat, all the endings in the present system. And to the future system, isti, eat, imus, istis, erunt, okay? And then a ro, a ris, a reet, a remus, a retis, a rent, a ram, a ras, a rot, a ramus, a ratis, a rant, okay? Remember, the pluperfect is identical to the imperfect assume. The future perfect is identical except the third person plural. This is one of the most confusing points in Latin, at least at this stage for my money. The third person plural of the future perfect, a ro, a ris, a reet, a remus, a retis, a rent. Whereas in sum, the future of sum is a ro, a ris, a reet, a remus, a retis, a rent. That's one thing you have to be careful of. I know in your workbook, the workbook material has asked that question, what is the difference? So all that to say, know your perfect tense endings well, know sum well, know your future perfect, your pluperfect. By perfect tense, I mean the perfect system endings. Know them all very, very well, okay? So I'm looking here at the book. You have sum, you have first conjugation verbs. Looks pretty simple, okay? Where is my workbook? Where is my work? Here it is. Let's take a look at the workbook material you're supposed to do this week. All right, lesson 13. The first thing, you have Latin sayings and grammar, all right? At the end of first form, you'll have to recite every Latin saying in this book, so know these well. You may have to go back previous chapters, but you can find that. Then you have regular principal parts. That's easy. I just did those on the board, okay? If you can do a mo, you can do a number of these verbs in this chapter, except for the 4 irregular ones, okay? And then, what do you know? At the bottom, chart, okay, sto, lavo, do, uvo, irregular. If you go back a couple of chapters in your book, there's a chart that outlines all the irregular verbs, those ones right there. If you need to look at it, you have it memorized, all the better. All right, turning the page. Okay, you have tense endings on page 70. That should be pretty easy for you. Helping verbs on page 70. What helping verbs are needed in the translations that come with these tenses. I'm gonna let that hang out there and trust that you can figure those out on your own. Okay, and then we get to 71, lots of vocab. So 71 is a page that you're gonna get the most out of if you do it by memory. The more you do by memory to Shipley, the better off you are going to be. So it is true. You could grab this page, open up your textbook, and just copy. Turn it into me and I would not know any difference. Absolutely, I would not know a difference. You're going to get a lot more mileage if you try to do this by memory. Study the vocab words. Study them, study them, study them. Close the book. Fill out this chart. Leave the ones blank you don't know, then go back and check yourself. That's a far better way of doing this chart right here, okay? And then once the first two principal parts of these verbs, so that means the present and the infinitive, you have to write down the first two principal parts. Don't shortchange it, do it correctly. On this page 72, nothing new here. You're just conjugating and writing the meanings. You should be able to do that just fine. More of the same on page 73, that is conjugating sum, and then in the back we have some translation skills. You have some form drills. I like these form drills. They go from English to Latin and Latin to English. Please pay careful attention to them. And at the bottom, you get to try your hand at some translation. So that is this lesson, lesson 13. It's a review over units 1 and 2. So that means a test is coming your way because unit reviews are always a test. All right, Disciple, look, you can do this. Take your time with it. If you have any questions, you want to FaceTime me. I have FaceTimed a number of students. It's always a lot of fun. Have your parents do it, and they can sit in, and I'll help you with whatever you need to be helped with. All right, I think that's good for this lesson 13 review. Please do that this week. The Lord bless and keep you. Proud of you to Shipley. Please keep up the good work.